Dear students, in previous class we have studied the lysosomes, mitochondria and the vacuole. Mitochondria are very important cell organelle because many reactions of aerobic respiration takes place within the mitochondria. Okay, now we shall study another cell organelle, that is plastid. What are plastids? Plastids are a pigment containing cell organelles. The cell organelle which contain the pigment are called plastids. The plastids are present in all plant cells and even in euglenoids. Plastids can be observed under the microscope. That is, if we examine the cells, especially the mesophyll cells, we can see the plastids. Okay. The plastids classification of plastids. Based on the type of pigment, the plastids are classified into different types. Chloroplast plastids, Chromoplast plastids and Leukoplast plastids. That is based on the pigment they contain, classified into different types. Chloroplast plastids. What are chloroplast plastids? For 1 mark. The plastids which contain chlorophyll pigment are called chloroplast plastids. These plastids are very important for the plant body because trap the solar energy, that is light energy, which is necessary for the photosynthesis. What are chromoplasts? The colored plastids are called Chromoplast plastids. These plastids are colored. Why? What's the reason? Because these plastids contain the pigments, color pigments. Say, the chromoplast contain carotene pigment, orange color, and xanthophyll pigment, yellow color. These pigments are mainly responsible for the color. Say, for example, these pigments are present in the fruits, in the petals of flower. So the petals appear yellow, orange, red, blue, even white color. What is the reason? Because the petals contain the colored plastid, chromoplast. Now, what is the function? Function of chromoplast. Being colored, they are present in the petals, attract the insect for pollination. The function of chloroplast is manufacture of food, that is photosynthesis. Whereas the function of chromoplast is attraction of insects for pollination. Okay. Next, leukoplast. Third type of plastids. The plastids which are colorless are called Leukoplast plastids. The main function of leukoplasts is storage of food materials or the nutrients. Now I repeat once again. The function of chloroplast is photosynthesis mainly. The function of chromoplast, attract insect for pollination. The function of leukoplast, storage of nutrients or food materials. Another important character is there. All these plastids are interconvertible. Say, chloroplast plastid may convert into chromoplast. Chromoplast may convert into leukoplast. Or even leukoplast may convert into chromoplast. Chromoplast may convert into chloroplast. A very important point. The plastids are interconvertible. Say for example, ನೋಡಿ, ನಾವು ಮನೆಗೆ ಪಪಾಯ ತಂದು ಇಟ್ಟಿರ್ತೀವಿ. ಹಸಿ ಪಪಾಯ ತಂದಿದ್ದಾಗ ಗ್ರೀನ್ ಕಲರ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಆರ್ ಟೊಮ್ಯಾಟೊ ನಾವು ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟಿಂದ ತಂದಾಗ ಗ್ರೀನ್ ಕಲರ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. Because of the chloroplast. So these chloroplasts within few days turns into chromoplast. ಹಣ್ಣಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಹಣ್ಣಾಗಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಗ್ರೀನ್ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಕಲರ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಆರೆಂಜ್ ಆರ್ ರೆಡ್ ಕಲರ್. It means conversion occurs. Okay. The leukoplast mainly present in the cortex region of the plant body or present in pith region of the plant body. Okay. Next, all these are important for the examination for 1 mark or 2 marks. Okay. Now, we have discussed about Leukoplast, that is colorless plastids. The colorless plastids are again classified into different types depending upon the type of food stored or nutrient stored. Say, Leukoplasts are again classified into 3 types: amyloplast plastids, Elaioplast plastids, Aleuroplast plastids. Very important for NEET or CET examination. What are amyloplasts? These are the plastids which store carbohydrates, starch. Say for example, potato. ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ ಪೊಟ್ಯಾಟೊ ನೋಡಿದಿರಿ, ಕಲರ್ಲೆಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅದು. ಪೊಟ್ಯಾಟೊ ನಾವು ಕಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಯಾಕೆ ತಿಂತೀವಿ ಪೊಟ್ಯಾಟೊ? ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ದೇರ್ ಈಸ್ ಎ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ಡ್ ಫುಡ್, carbohydrate or the starch. Elaioplast, the plastids which store oils and fats are called Elaioplasts. And another type, Aleuroplast, the plastids which store proteins are called Aleuroplasts. Thus, the leukoplasts are again classified into 3 types: amyloplast, Elaioplast, and Aleuroplast, depending upon the type of food or nutrient stored. Okay. I told you the chloroplast contain carotene and xanthophyll pigments. These pigments are fat soluble. Okay. Another important point for NEET or CET examination. Okay. Now we shall pass on to the structure of chloroplast. See the diagram showing ultrastructure of chloroplast. Ultrastructure means the structure observed or studied under the electron microscope. See the outer membrane and also the inner membrane, double layered membrane structure. Granum you can see now, coins na jodistangide granum. Thylakoid you can see now, ಒಂದೊಂದು ಕಾಯಿನನ್ನು ಒಂದೊಂದು ಥೈಲಕಾಯ್ಡ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಅದ್ರ ಒಳಗಡೆಗೆ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಸ್ಟ್ರೋಮಾ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಮ್ಯಾಟ್ರಿಕ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಗೆ ಮೈಟೋಕಾಂಡ್ರಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಕರೆದ್ವಿಯೋ ಆ ಥರ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟ್ರೋಮಾ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ನಾವು. ಸಿದಿ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್ 2 ಗ್ರಾನ ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಬೈ ಸ್ಟ್ರೋಮಾ ಲ್ಯಾಮೆಲ್ಲೆ ಅಥವಾ ಇಂಟರ್ಗ್ರಾನಲ್ ಲ್ಯಾಮೆಲ್ಲೆ ಆರ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ frets. Okay, so that's all the diagram. The diagram is very important for 3 marks. 6 labeling is essential for 3 marks. Very important diagram for the main examination. Okay. Next, we shall study the structure of chloroplast. Detailed structure. Where do you come across the chloroplast? I already told you the chloroplasts are normally present in the green part of the plant body. That is, the mesophyll cells of leaves contain chloroplast. Sometimes young stem also contains chloroplast. Now grass noಡ್ತೀವಿ. Grass stem appear green color. Why it appears green color? Because of the chloroplast only. ಸೂರ್ಯಕಾಂತಿ ಗಿಡ ಚಿಕ್ಕದಾಗಿದ್ದಾಗ ಗ್ರೀನ್ ಕಾಣುತ್ತೆ. What is the reason? Because of the presence of chloroplast even in the stem. Okay. Now, the number of chloroplast, the shape of the chloroplast, the size of the chloroplast, let us study. With respect to the number of chloroplast varies. A plant is there by name Chlamydomonas. Chlamydomonas, a green alga, which contain only one cup-shaped chloroplast in the cell. In Spirogyra, one more alga is there. 2 spiral-shaped chloroplasts are there. Shape, number also varies, I told you. The mesophyll cells of higher plants contain 20 to 40 chloroplasts in each cell. Chlamydomonas contain only one, whereas the mesophyll cells contain 20 to 40 chloroplasts. Okay? What is the shape? The chloroplasts appear as different shaped bodies. Maybe oval, spherical, cup-shaped, ribbon-like, saucer-shaped body. Sometimes star-shaped. Zygnema ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಆಲ್ಗ ಐತೆ. ಸ್ಪೈರೋಗೈರಾ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಆಲ್ಗ ಐತೆ. ರಿಬ್ಬನ್ ಥರ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಟೇಪಿನ ಥರ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. Coming to size also varies from 5 to 10 microns in length and 2 to 4 microns in width or the diameter. ಇದಿಷ್ಟನ್ನು ಎಕ್ಸಾಮಿನೇಷನಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದೇ ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೀಬೋದು. Like this, the number, the size and the shape of the chloroplast varies in different plants. Okay. Now we shall study the structure of chloroplast under the electron microscope. The chloroplast is a double-layered membranous cell organelle like mitochondria. The outer membrane and the inner membrane. The outer membrane is relatively less permeable. Relatively less permeable means it is permeable. The space between the two membranes is called periplastidal space, or sometimes we call outer space. The inner membrane encloses inner space. The inner membrane or the inner space contain the granular substance called stroma. What is that? Stroma. Stroma is very important because the dark reaction of photosynthesis or Kelvin cycle of photosynthesis takes place in the stroma of chloroplast. Why it takes place only in the stroma? Because the enzymes necessary for the Kelvin cycle present in the stroma. Okay. Now we shall study the grana. Embedded in the stroma, many granas are present. The number of grana varies from 25 to 60. Okay. Each granum, if you examine, see the diagram, is made up of 25 to 50 double-layered membranous flattened sac-like structures called thylakoids. What are thylakoids? Double-layered membranous sac-like structures of chloroplast. They are also called lamellae. Thylakoid andru ondene, lamellae andru ondene. ಇವು ಹೆಂಗೆ ಅರೇಂಜ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾವೆ? ಒನ್ ಅಬೌವ್ ದಿ ಅದರ್. ನಾವು ಕಾಯಿನ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಒಂದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಒಂದು ಇಟ್ಟರೆ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಕಾಣುತ್ತೋ ಆ ಥರ ಅರೇಂಜ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾವೆ. ಸಿ ದಿ ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮ್. These lamellae are very important because contain pigments. Pigments like chlorophyll, green pigments, carotenoids, orange pigments, xanthophyll, yellow pigments. In angiosperms, we come across chlorophyll, carotenoids, xanthophyll pigments. The two granas are interconnected by what is known as frest, also called intergranal structure. Each thylakoid, I told you, is a double-layered membrane structure enclose the space we call lumen. The light reaction of photosynthesis takes place in the grana. Very important key point. Why it takes place only in the grana means because the pigments are found or present in the grana. A very important notable point. The stroma, I already told you, granular substance which contains many enzymes of dark reaction or Kelvin cycle. Hence, it takes dark reaction or Kelvin cycle takes place in the stroma of chloroplast. Very important point. Light reaction in the stroma, light reaction in the grana and dark reaction in the stroma chloroplast occur. If we examine carefully, the stroma also contain circular double-stranded DNA molecule. Circular DNA, an important point for NEET or CET. And also contains ribosomes. Ribosomes of 70S only. Okay. So that's all about the chloroplast. Very important for 5 mark for the main examination. ಬಂದೇ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಮೈನ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮಿನೇಷನಲ್ಲಿ ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿರಬೇಕು. ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ದಿ ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮ್. ಓಕೆ, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ cell organelle, the ribosomes. Ribosomes, they were discovered by George Plastids. Who discovered ribosomes? Ribosomes were discovered by Plastids. The ribosomes are commonly known as protein factories of a cell. Why they are called protein factories of a cell? Because the protein manufactured in these ribosomes. You have already studied the ribosome of prokaryotes. They are of 70S type. Now we are studying the ribosome of eukaryotes. That is, they are of 80S. Okay? 80S means each ribosome is asymmetrical body having smaller unit and larger unit. The smaller unit is 40S. The larger subunit is of 60S. 40 plus 60, 40 plus 60, 100. Not like that. The smaller subunit is 40S. The larger subunit is 60S. The 80S ribosome or eukaryotic ribosome is made up of 40S smaller subunit and 80S larger 60S larger subunit. What is this S? S refers to Swedberg's unit. Swedberg unit stands for sedimentation coefficient of cell organelle. It indirectly measures the density and size of the ribosome. Okay. I already told you the ribosomes are made up of 2 subunits, smaller subunit and larger subunit. Okay. The ribosome of prokaryotes are of 30S and 50S subunit. 80S are eukaryotic ribosome made up of 40S and 68 subunits. The ribosomes are made up of mainly RNA and proteins. Very important. The ribosomes are non-membranous cell organelles. You must remember for the NEET examination. Non-membranous cell organelle. Okay. Now, what is the function of ribosome? The main function of ribosome is protein synthesis. proteins or enzymes synthesized. Second function, when it becomes polyribosome, it protects the mRNA against nuclease enzymes. Okay, that's all today's lesson. Okay, thank you. Thank you once again.